All right, so I am Cadet Krista Bryan, and this is my third year in the program here. I am a mechanical engineering major, and I'm still looking for my intended AFOC SC, but I'm thinking of doing either developmental engineering or something with like space operations.
All right, I'm Cadet Quay Andre Pitts. I'm a third year as well. I'm a computer science major with concentration in information technology. My intended AFSC is space operations, but I'm also thinking about going cyber, and I haven't decided if I want to go warfare or defense.
I'm Cadet Zale Schuster. This is my third year in the program. I'm presently a kinesiology exercise science major. I was a nursing major until kind of recently, so I can tell you all about that. And my intended AFSC, so what I want to do is, I believe general surgery is presently what I'm looking into.
Oh, Schuster, I didn't know that. That's awesome. So as you guys can see, like you don't have to know exactly what you want to do coming into ROTC. It's very fluid. It'll change throughout your years. Some people come in and they're like, oh, I want to be a pilot. And then the next year they're like, okay, I want to be a logistics readiness officer. So it's very fluid, and the program will help you figure out what you do want to end up doing. So before I start the presentation, like everybody can turn on their camera. I want you guys to feel as comfortable as possible, call out, say any question. We're all your peers and we want to answer any questions that you have, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and get the ball rolling. 1 second. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up if y'all can see so far? Okay, thank you. Second, move this over. Okay, so welcome to March 31st, Detachment 592 Q&A session. Again, thank you guys for coming. Ask any questions that you have. No question is a stupid question, and we're extremely excited to be able to interact with you guys. So we're going to start off with a video from our detachment commander. I apologize, I did not share audio as well, so 1 second. Thank you for being patient. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Don Land, head of the Air Force ROTC program here at UNC Charlotte.
And I'm Cadet Colonel Miranda Vasquez.
Acknowledging the new norm, and yet on behalf of the United States Air Force and the United States Space Force, and a range of cadets with degrees such as
computer science majors,
organizational communications,
criminal justice,
Biology major,
an exercise science major,
nursing major,
and we
are
nice.
I love that video. I just get all giddy. Okay, so the first question, this is a very common question. Do I have to go to UNC Charlotte to be a part of the Det 592 family? So I know that UNC Charlotte is an amazing campus. I love it. I'm a little biased towards it, but it's not the best for everybody, and people might want to go other places while also being a part of Detachment 592, and that's totally okay. So these are some of the crosstown schools that we do accept. This is within a 30-mile radius of UNC Charlotte. Winthrop University is in South Carolina. So if you are a South Carolina resident trying to get in-state tuition, this is an option for you. If you are planning on doing a the crosstown program, you can fill out this Greater Charlotte Consortium application. So what you would do is you would go to your advisor, speak with your advisor, have them sign off on the classes that you want to take at UNC Charlotte, which would be the Aero classes. You would speak with our operations flight commander, Major Morton, showing him your intent of participating at Detachment 592. And then once you get all of that accepted from your advisor, as well as Det 592, then you're ready to go. So we do have some people that go to Charlotte or go to Detachment 592 that are crosstown students, and it is extremely possible to be able to do both. We actually one year had a wing commander who was in charge of like the entire cadet wing who went to Belmont Abbey College, and she was at every single event. She put in her 110%. So something that I love about Air Force ROTC at just a university versus going to the Air Force Academy is that you have plenty of time to figure out what you want to do. At the Air Force Academy, it's military, and you're constantly going. But at university with an Air Force ROTC program, you have ROTC, and then you can also do extracurriculars. So depending on how much you want to put into the program outside of the requirements of the program is all up to you. Okay. So do I need a specific major to be in the program? So the flat out answer is no, you do not. A lot of people think that, oh, if I have a technical major, which is something like mathematics, engineering, computer science, I have a better chance of getting a scholarship. And everybody always asks questions about that. So you do not need to have one of these majors to be in the program. I'm an exercise science major. You heard Cadet Schuster say that she's also an exercise science major. So you can be a part of the program and not have these technical majors and still be able to excel. Does anybody have anything to add to that about maybe being a tech major or non-tech?
I can speak on that. I can tell you that we have a very diverse pool of majors, as you saw in the video. And that's not even the only majors that you saw in the video. There's like a bunch of them. And me as an engineering major, I can literally stand next to Cadet Spaziani or Cadet Schuster, and we're in the same class, same level, same situation. Our majors have nothing to do with our success in the program. It's all about the motivation that we have and the work that we put into it.
Exactly. And also, like, I am horrible at math. And if I decided to go into college in math, I would be completely burnt out by now. I could not be able to do it and get the grades that I wanted. So in going to college, pick the major that best interests you, not what you think that other people want you to do. That's definitely the best tip that you can get, because you don't want to be doing something that you don't understand, you don't want to do, and you're just doing it for somebody else. Okay. So what will I be doing in Air Force ROTC? So your first and second year, you're called the general military course. You're going through the program, you're seeing if you like it. It's like an internship. So your first year, your AS 100 year, you'll be learning about the foundations of the Air Force, learn about the structure, mission, and professionalism of the Air Force. Then once you go on to your second year as an AS 200, it's the evolution of air and space power. You learn about the employment and importance of air power. So your second year, this is the year of field training preparation. Field training takes place after your second year in the program. And it's basically just an evaluation period, 2 weeks, for AFROTC cadets from all across the nation. And you do need an enrollment allocation, an EA, to attend this. So if you're putting your 110% in the program, you're trying hard, you're being at every required event and doing more for your people, you will have a really good chance of being able to go to field training. So as an AS 200 as well, you're beginning to form your leadership skills. You will be helping the first year cadets come into the program, get acclimated to the culture. However, you're also being taught by the AS 300s and AS 400s during your leadership laboratory, which we will be talking about. So your first and second year, you're learning about the program, leadership and followership, different things. And then once you get into the professional officer course, as a third year cadet, you will be learning about the importance of quality leadership and the dynamic environment of an Air Force officer. And then as an AS 400, your preparation for active duty, learn about the leadership role of an Air Force officer in a real world environment. So do any of the volunteers have anything to add for tips coming in as a first year AFROTC cadet? You can just jump on and say something.
I'll chime in. So best thing I can give you for coming in for a general military course, be like a sponge. Soak up everything you can and anything you can just while you're in the program. Don't be afraid to talk to the POC. They're not, or the professional officer course. They're not scary people. They're very human once you get to know them. Very personal and friendly characters. At least I would like to think so. And that's something I would have done if I was an AS 100, AS 200. I would have liked to get to know the upperclassmen so I can take more information going into field training, going into professional officer course.
Yes, absolutely. Being a sponge is extremely important. And especially if you're not coming from any military background or anything like that. I came in my second semester or the second semester of my freshman year. So I was an AS 150 and I was behind just because they had already had a semester beforehand. And then I also didn't have any military experience or anything like that prior. So I just went in and I was like, okay, I'm going to soak everything up. I'm going to try my hardest. And that's the best that you can do. You want to be an asset for the team. You don't want to hold everyone back just because you aren't comfortable with getting out of your comfort zone. So a really big thing about Air Force ROTC as well is that you will be going out of your comfort zone. And it's a good thing and it helps you grow. Does anybody have, any volunteers have anything to add with going out of your comfort zone? Any personal experiences?
I could definitely speak on that. I am a very introverted person, and my entire first year in ROTC, I secluded myself to my room and focused on my schoolwork. And while I was doing that, everybody else in the detachment was getting to know each other and eating out and PTing together. So I was like, you know what? I need to get as much as I can out of this program. And I started to open up to people. I started to force myself to talk to people and start conversations with people because I would literally refuse to do so. And I feel so much more comfortable around the people around me. I know that I can call someone and they'll be there for me just because I put myself out there and I let people get to know who I am.
Okay, so really quick before, I don't know if, can you guys see my chat box? I'm not sure if you're able to. No? Okay, good. So someone had asked if I would be able to tell them if we have to pay back the ROTC scholarship if we decide the program is not for us. Major Pewitt, do you have anything to speak on with that?
So that depends. Since if you get the HSSP scholarship, so that's a scholarship right out of college or right out of high school, excuse me, then the first year is free. So you have the opportunity to come in your freshman year with that scholarship, try it out. And if you don't like it, no harm, no foul, you can walk away. However, if you get an in-college scholarship, which that means you've already been in the program at least one semester, if you get picked up for that scholarship, you're going to contract to accept that. And then that's kind of making a commitment to the ROTC program. So you would have a commitment then. If you decide to walk away after getting that scholarship, potentially you could have to pay that back, but sometimes not. It all depends on the decisions and the reasons why, and a lot of different factors go into play.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And then there's also another question. How selective are ROTC scholarships? Major Pew, if you could speak on that.
So it is a competitive process, and you're competing not only with your peers in your class, but around the nation as well. And I'll tell you, control the things that you can control. Control your PT score, control your GPA, control your performance day to day in the detachment. And if you do those three things, you have an opportunity to compete very well for a scholarship in your second semester of your freshman year. So the spring semester is when freshmen are typically able to compete for those scholarships.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And just to add to that for scholarships within the program, at least once you come into the program, if you prove yourself to be a good wingman, be there for other people, not throwing people under the bus, being a leader and then a follower when needed, you do have a good opportunity to be able to get that. So once you come in the program, you'll see how easy it is to be able to be there for those around you because we're all a family. And we always talk about how much of a family we are, but that's what's so amazing about our detachment culture. And I was going to be talking about that in future slides, so I'm not going to give anything away. Let me just see. Okay, so I have another question. I will be coming to Charlotte as a sophomore, so I would begin in the AS200 classes. So if you come to Charlotte as a sophomore, yes, you would be considered an AS250. So that's essentially joining the AS200s while also taking the AS100 courses. So you will be doing both at the same time, just making sure that you do meet the curriculum requirements. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Let's see. Okay, great. Next slide. I know I accidentally clicked through. So, okay. What kind of...
Quickly add, if you are coming into the program as an AS250, that would require an interview with a member of faculty, and you'll have to develop a academic plan. Basically, that's a roadmap of how you're going to get from where you are to graduation. That would have to be reviewed with a member of faculty in order for them to determine you're on track and have everything you need in order to be able to complete your degree program along with the Air Force ROTC requirements.
Yes, sir. Thank you for adding that. Okay, so what kind of physical requirements are there? So we have PT, physical training, from 06 to 07 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You are only required to go to 2 of those. So you can go to Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday. However, if you do want to go to all 3, I definitely recommend that. For COVID, we have had a little bit of wacky PT schedules, but for first and second year that I was in the program, I always tried to go to all 3. It's a really good opportunity to not only get a good workout, but to build camaraderie and leadership and followership skills. It's so much more fun going to PT in the morning at 06 with all of your best friends and just joking around and being able to push each other, see each other doing like quarter push-ups because they're so tired. It's just really fun. It's a really good morale builder. So in the top left corner, that is a picture from something called Patriot Games, which I will speak about in future slides. But Patriot Games is essentially where some detachments from across from the state come to one area. It was actually our detachment last year, and we all compete in various different events. So we did like tug of war, frisbee, soccer, a pull-up challenge, a 1-mile ruck challenge. It's really fun. And we actually won. So just saying. Also top right, that is Cadet Smith. He's doing 4-count flutter kicks, and you'll learn to love those once you join the program. And then the other pictures are just self-explanatory. It's definitely a lot of fun. Like, I don't know if anybody has anything to add about PT from the volunteers. Not all at once, please, please.
It's actually, it is really fun. I'm right now a trainer for a couple, actually a group of 100s. We call them flights. And it's fun, I say also because there's so much morale. Like you'll hear them screaming kind of down, like running, that like to build morale. They'll just go, for instance, we do something called Indian runs. So it's essentially one person goes from the back and then goes to the front of the line and y'all running. And you like do all sorts of wacky noises just to like, it works. And the like louder you are during PT, I feel like the less tired you are. It just kind of works hand in hand. Like,
something I also want to stress is that you don't have to be a physically fit monster coming in the program. So the PT is built so that you are able to progress. There's calisthenics, there's running, there's stadiums. We all love stadiums. You don't have to be the best of the best in physical fitness at all. Our detachment works where if one person is maybe lacking on a run and they're in the back, you're going to have 3 or 4 people that are trying to hype that person up and get them up front. It's never going to be, oh, wow, they suck, they can't run, whatever. It's never going to be like that. We all see each other and genuinely want each other to succeed. Okay. Does any other volunteer have anything to add?
Yeah, I'll chime in again. Just want to reiterate, we're not looking for any 5 4-star athletes. Maybe not even 3 either. You don't have to be a track star. I think the one thing I noticed is that effort, and then put the time in. You'll see progress in yourself, and then you'll have the results at the end. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so what kind of opportunities can I look forward to in coming in AF-ROTC? So there are a lot of opportunities, and Mr. Campbell, who have spoken already, he sends out opportunities pretty much every day of different things that we can do. There is a program called Project Go that you can apply for the summer to learn a different language, either domestic or abroad. There is You Can Fly scholarships they have where you can apply and potentially get flights for free. And then also we have different organizations within the detachment, such as Arnold Air Society. So you'll see in the bottom right, that is Cadet Shagapov. He's at our 9/11 vigil. And Arnold Air Society is a service-based program. And then the bottom left, you have an incentive flight that a bunch of cadets were able to go from the Air National Guard in Charlotte to Florida and back. So they were able to do that. And then the top left, that's actually at Patriot Games. That was tug of war. We didn't win that event, but we won overall. So that's all that matters, right? And then the top right, you also have Adopt a Spot, which is essentially a spot on campus where each flight gets to clean it up every week. It's basically just us beautifying the campus, and it's very rewarding being able to see that there's a spot on campus that all of us have added to. And then the bottom middle, that is Cadet Case. She went on a professional development training in California, and she volunteered to be tased. You don't have to do it, but she volunteered to do it. So I'm going to play the video for you guys.
Someone's got to film her face. Go around.
Nah, she didn't want her face in it.
Okay.
Don't get my face!
We're not.
Oh, see? You're so strong.
Case is tough. Case is tough.
That's it, man.
There you go!
Okay, so you don't have to do that, but it is an opportunity that you're able to do if you do go on something like that. Some places do add that. Does anybody have anything to add for opportunities in the DET that I've maybe missed?
So I know definitely before COVID happened, I'm on the honor guard team, which is what you can see in the center picture. And that's where we present the colors. Like maybe if you've been at a high school football game or you've seen like the Super Bowl or something, you would see ROTC unit present the colors for the national anthem. Specifically within the honor guard, we've had them present the colors at a NASCAR race. I've seen, I think there was a checkers game at one point. There's different places that we can go to present the colors. Like sometimes at the football games here on campus, the soccer games, volunteering at the VA, doing it there as well. Ceremonial honor guards for like Veterans Day, Memorial Day, stuff like that. There's also a lot of volunteer opportunities that get thrown out as well. So like, I know we've done food pantries and we've done Renaissance Festival at one point. That was very fun, where we got to dress up in like ancient wear and like raise money for the detachment and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun bonding experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cadet Brian. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so what does Lead Lab consist of? I spoke about Lead Lab in the beginning, but I'm going to be talking a little bit about it more now. So as a first and second year cadet, you come in the program, you're learning basic military training skills, you're learning how drill and ceremonies, you're learning how to work with others, leadership and followership skills. So top left, you actually have Cadet Schuster. When she was a second year cadet, she was drilling on cone deck, the infamous cone deck. You'll know about it as soon as you come to the detachment, but that's where we do all of our drill. And then the bottom middle two pictures on top of each other, that was a group leadership project for first year cadets. And they were trying to get over this rope without using any verbal cues or anything. So it's a really fun morale builder, and then also learning how to work with your peers, leadership and followership. And then the bottom right, this is Captain Hucka. He was our previous operations flight commander. And this was during dining in, something that we do at the detachment. And there was this like pie contest, and it was sent out to the whole detachment, and it was to raise money. So whoever had the most amount of money put at their name, they were going to be the ones that were pied in the face. And Captain Hucka actually lost, or won, I guess, by 1 penny. Someone put 1 penny to his name. So I'm going to play this video, and he's the coolest dude ever. And he never really liked his hair to be touched, and everyone just like smeared all the pie all over his head. I'll show you. So that was awesome. Something that I also really want to stress is that don't get too nerved up or anything about doing drill and stuff if you don't already know. Like I said, I came in the second semester of freshman year having no previous JROTC or any experience whatsoever in a military environment, and I made so many mistakes. And that's okay as long as you learn from them. And when you learn from them, you become an asset not only for your team, but for yourself as well. So you want to continue to grow your knowledge, be that sponge, like Cadet Pitts said, and make those mistakes. We're not expecting cadets to be perfect coming in the program and knowing facing movements and different things on cone deck. As long as you're putting your best foot forth, you're going to be set. A story that I like to tell is that I was a flight commander for my flight, and I was marching them, and I marched all of them into the wall. And then I made some comments that I shouldn't have made, especially trying to have a military bearing. And I had a counseling after that, and it definitely changed a really big my perspective on ROTC and trying to have that military bearing switch. So you're going to have those moments where you're like, okay, I'm never going to do that again, but let me move forward, help the people around me, and learn from it. Do any of the volunteers have anything to add with like making mistakes?
So drill is definitely something where you have to, at least I lacked confidence to call it drill in a way. So I would doubt myself, even though I like kind of knew drill. I came in as like a new cadet as well. So I had no experience with drill or anything. And you just kind of, it's a great way of kind of seeing where you can go and like making mistakes and then building confidence. And when you get it right, it's like a great feeling to see like somebody marching in a direction that you actually want them to march rather than in a wall or like into each other. So I just gotta say it's a way to build confidence, I think.
Absolutely. And then also just adding to that, I just thought of this while you were talking, Cadet Schuster, but when you first come into the program, it will be intimidating because you don't know a lot of people, but there will be a lot of people with open arms. I remember when I came in, Cadet Schuster, she just immediately ran up to me and was asking me all these questions, asking me where I wanted to sit, if I wanted to sit next to her. So of course you're going to be nervous. You're going to have those nerves, but it's definitely an amazing place for you to be. And you're surrounded by people, like-minded people who have motivation, dedication, and they want to be there. Okay. So what is it like as an ROTC cadet and university student? So all of these pictures, they're all cadets. You see Cadet Schuster in the bottom right. I'm not going to lie, it can be difficult at times. You do need to learn how to do time management as well as trying not to be too hard on yourself. You will learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I know maybe some of you are used to in high school, maybe just showing up to class and getting straight A's and then going home. college is definitely a different ball game, and trying to figure out how to do your best in all these different aspects is definitely a skill, but you will acquire it. Does anybody have anything to add for that, volunteers? Cadet Piss.
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, time management is a big thing I came into college struggling with. I had to learn really quickly because I used to be that kid. I'd just go to class, sit in there, walk out, still get good grades. So yeah, I'll emphasize that a whole lot because you have all these classes and then it's not always the same. Your professor's sometimes just going to drop a bomb on you like, hey, pop quiz. It's also 20% of your grade. Oh, well, we'll figure it out afterwards. And then it's just things you just have to keep on top of: studying, going to class, make sure you go to classes, don't skip classes. And then all the things you have to do that's outside of ROTC, like working out, because just because you go 3 days doesn't mean you're going to see results that would be best for you in that sense. Even just preparing for Elite Lab, you'll see the 200s this year, or the sophomores, they meet up 2 hours before Elite Lab to get ready for Elite Lab. So they're there doing ROTC for 4 hours straight. Crazy stuff.
So that's just something up to the cadet. That's not required. It's not anything like that. Like I said before, whatever you want to put into the program besides the requirements is all up to you. It depends on your work ethic and how much you care about the situation. Being the amazing part of being an RTC is that, like I said before, you're with like-minded individuals. So you're not the only one that's trying to balance your exercise science classes with ROTC. You have people that you can talk to, and you're never alone. You can always reach out to a fellow cadet, a friend, whatever, and ask them to study with you. Ask them if they can help you figure out your time management skills. And again, we become so close that it's just like second nature to us just to reach out to a buddy and ask them for help. And it's never wrong for you to ask somebody for help because we do need it sometimes. Okay, so what can I look forward to after commissioning? I feel like a lot of cadets just have tunnel vision. They want to get to commissioning, which of course, everybody, that's the end game. Everybody wants to get to commissioning. And there are a ton of opportunities within Air Force ROTC. There's also a ton once you get into the big blue. So in the upper left corner, that is Lieutenant Ng, who just graduated Intel school and he's off to his first base. It's awesome because I was able to, as a second year, I was able to plan his commissioning ceremony, which was amazing. And he actually gave me one of his gold bars to put inside of my flight cap. And I'll always remember that. You will have mentors that you will never forget that have made such an impact on you. And then you have in the top right and then the top middle, that is Lieutenant Quinlan. He is a part of this very competitive program called NJET, which is Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training Program, which is where you are able to train for with pilots, like-minded pilots from across the world. So he was able to get a slot in this because of how competitive he was, and coming out of Detachment 592, you're definitely equipped to be able to do these sort of things. And then in the bottom three to the right, you have, that is Lieutenant Weeks. And you'll see in the bottom right, that is her and Lieutenant Quinlan, who are getting married next month, which is awesome. I'm not saying that if you join the program, you'll automatically find the love of your life, but they were able to find that, which is awesome. Lieutenant Weeks was enlisted coming into the program as an intel as an intel enlisted, and then she commissioned as an intelligence officer. So she just graduated from intel school, and she's going to Langley Eustis in Virginia and being able to work at a target base, which is awesome. And then the bottom left, you have Lieutenant Rainey, who is getting award at Intel School. So you have a lot to look forward to after commissioning. I didn't even touch on things. So it's definitely an amazing program and amazing outcomes. All right, so we're going to conclude with a video.
United States has faced many enemies and overcome many trials. The men and women of the United States Air Force stand ready to protect our nation and its people in the air, space, and cyberspace. Officers are to lead the Air Force, serving selflessly with dignity and honor. At Detachment 592, we build these leaders. We develop men and women who will not only lead, but excel. As a cadet in this detachment, you will be challenged physically, mentally, but most importantly, as a team. Together, you will overcome daunting obstacles, strive to become the best version of yourself, and at the same time, creating bonds that will last a lifetime.
I think you should join Detachment 592 because whether you end up in the Air Force or not, in your time in college, you're going to be a better person, you're going to be a more developed person, you're going to get experiences that people around you aren't getting, you're going to get growth that people around you aren't getting, and you will come out of college either with a well-paying, secure job that you're going to love, or just as a better, more developed person that's prepared for whatever you do end up doing.
We will lead our airmen to succeed. We will honor those who came before us and pave the way for those who follow us. We will serve and protect those in need, both at home and abroad. As officers in the United States Air Force, we will fly, fight, and win.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel. I view this program as an internship. During the first 2 years, we invest in people who are exploring whether or not they want to wear a uniform while they serve their country. We teach concepts like leadership, followership, discipline, integrity. We assess, give feedback, and provide continual opportunities for growth. It's actually not until the final years that a member is contracted and receives a full commitment from the Air Force to grow them into an officer. I believe whether you spend 1 semester in the program or 4 years, you'll be better equipped to pursue whatever endeavor you want in life.
When I say war, you say night and warrior!
Okay, so this concludes the presentation. I want to give the floor over to the Q&A panelists to answer any questions that you guys have. It could be about ROTC, it could be about a major, it could be about balancing everything, whatever you want it to be, whatever question you have. There's no stupid question. I really appreciate you guys coming and having the courage to be able to ask questions and prepare for your future.